Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jolera interview series. I'm your host, Paolo Del Nibletto, the Chief Channel Business for Jolera. This interview series features prominent executives and influencers from the IT marketplace, talking about technology innovation, the as-a-service market, leadership, and the overall marketplace. And today we have one of those prominent executives from the newly rebranded Acronym Solutions, formerly Hydro One Telecom. It's John Papadakis, the president and CEO. During his career, John has acquired a lot of experience in telecommunications and the iTech sector with companies such as Avaya, ClearNet, Rogers, and Group Telecom. John, welcome to the program. Thank you for being here. So let's talk about the rebranding strategy. What was happening in the marketplace and also internally too, that you and your leadership team felt that, you needed to make this bold step forward?
Acronym, formerly Hydro One Telecom, has been around in business for quite some time, over 20 years.
Right.
And we've had the pleasure of servicing the business market for all those years. And along the path, it became very evident, A, from our customers, B, from where the market was going, that we needed to transform as a company. In the old days, and I keep using the old days, when telecom was around, it was predominantly telecommunications in terms of connectivity and bandwidth services.
Right.
But that's not what today's world needs. That's not what our customers were telling us they needed. That's not what we know the market direction is. And so we needed to pivot the business. And part of me joining the company is to pivot that business, to transform it into a full service ICT solutions provider. Now, in that transformation, you need to tell the market about that transformation.
Of course.
You need to ensure that not only do they know you're in that space, but you need to create a momentum and energy around what you are as a company. And rebranding was just one of the elements in that transformation. So as we were going through our transformation as an ICT solutions provider, it was so obvious for us to do it at the right time, and coincidentally with part of that transformation. So we rebranded into Acronym, and it's just been phenomenal since then in terms of what the market thinks, in terms of, more importantly, what our customers think, and of course what our employees stand behind.
So why Acronym? How did you come up with that name?
It was an interesting process, to say the
I'm
least.
sure.
And anyone who's gone through a rebranding process, it's not as simple as putting a bunch of names in,
Right.
In a bowl with, and then select one and say this is the one. We did follow a fairly rigorous process. Involved obviously our leadership team, and we're closely also with with Hydro One,
Of course.
our parent. And as we went through and looked at the various different names, one of them really popped out, and we sat back and said, wait a minute, our industry is infamous for acronyms. I mean, if you've been in telecom or IT or ICT,
That's true.
it's all acronyms.
It is.
I mean, sometimes I make the mistake of going home and spewing out acronyms, and of course my wife and daughters are looking at me going, okay, next, what were we saying? And
That's right. Stop talking
about buzzwords
I
and
know.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. So as we went through it, it was so obvious. We created our vision and our mission, and part of that was, how do we simplify what we offer our customers? And what is an acronym? It's a simplification. It's a way of taking complex words or long words and simplifying them.
Right.
And making it easier. So if you translate it into our mission and vision, especially around our customers and what they are going through, it's so much indicative of our existence as a company, as Acronym, is to simplify complex technology and technological and operational issues, and make it easier for them.
Right.
Let them concentrate on doing their business, what they're good at. Let us help them in that simplification. And so it just stood out, and it was unanimous. It was
Right.
absolutely unanimous.
Well, now that you say that, it should be unanimous because it makes so much sense. And it's so true.
The one thing I did tell them is there is no acronym for acronym.
There's no acronym.
Just say acronym.
That's right. So, John, you came to the company a little over 4 years ago. charged to spearhead the transformation to becoming an ICT provider. Talk to me how that process has gone over the 4 years. What have you accomplished, and what still needs to be done?
It is never ending, as you can imagine. We always have to transform, always continue to provide more for our customer base and be more in the market, right? If you can imagine, there are big three out there with well-established brands, and part of what we needed to do is not just a rebranding exercise, it's to provide the products and services and everything that goes along with it. Of course, as you can appreciate, there's a balance between telling the market what you are and transforming a company itself.
Right.
So far it's gone fantastically well, but it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Culturally, we have to shift and continue to shift as a company, and I'm so proud of the Acronym team for just embracing that change. They knew themselves they had to. They had to transform, and we had to collectively transform as a company. So continuing in that cultural transformation, continuing in providing the skill set internally to support all the products and services that we've launched, launch more products and services where they make sense for our customers and where they make sense for the market. This isn't they just go out and throw a bunch of products and services just because, right? So I'm very pleased with the steps and the progress that we've made. It's never enough as far as I'm concerned.
So John, let's talk about the as-a-service market. It's very, very dynamic in the last few years. First of all, I want to get your take on that market in general, and what are you doing specifically in terms of security and cloud to upgrade your offerings in that area?
Yeah, very important avenue for us to continue to grow our customer base. I mentioned earlier that we have launched multiple different products and services, such as NOS, or Network Operations as a Service, FOS, or Feet on the Street as a Service. We have Secure SD-WAN, we have Unified Communications as a Service, Managed IT, Managed Security. All those things, as you can tell, the XX as a Service are very important to us, and we recognize that. And this is also what our customers are looking for. So we continue to invest. We've launched a portfolio of services out in the market. We will continue to add to that. And I see that growing. I see that space growing by all indications, both in terms of what the market numbers show you, but also what we're seeing in the dialogue that we're having with customers.
I want to bring it back to leadership. I mean, you're the leader of Acronym Solutions, and sometimes there's always a sharp contrast in terms of the public face of the organization out there, which you are, and also internally in trying to inspire those groups to go into this new direction that you just established, right, for the business. As a leader, what's the challenging part from your perspective on that, in terms of being the public face and also internally trying to inspire your group going forward?
Yeah, I would say that it's the job of the CEO.
Yeah.
I take great pleasure of doing that, because it is a balance between what you tell the marketplace and the outwardly facing message and image and brand,
right,
which I represent, or all of our employees represent in front of customers, as balancing it, of course, with the internal change that needs to happen. It takes effort, it takes passion. I will give you probably our first all-employee meeting. I stood up and I said, so as an example, I stood up and I said, we're all in sales. And some of them nodded up and down, and others looked at me like, I'm an ops person.
Right,
what are you talking about? I said, no, every one of us is in sales. We're here to support our customers. We're here to provide those solutions that enable their businesses to succeed.
Right.
And people just started to really process that. That's a cultural shift you have to make.
It is, yes.
It's a cultural shift also from doing things the way you always did it,
right,
to a high growth, entrepreneurial ICT solutions provider. Right. I would say, as a leader, and all of my leadership team, our job is to energize, to engage, to enroll, to inspire and I think we've done a good job. Doesn't end again,
No, nothing,
right?
yeah.
And part of the challenge is, in this high pace world of technology, is getting people not just culturally and mentally there. It's also the skill set has to quickly
Mesh. Yeah.
right? And so invest in people, invest in the partnerships that help you get there faster as an overall entity, and we will continue to do that.
So on the surface, right, the transition from a connectivity player into an ICT provider seems like a natural progression. Was it that, or did you experience something different, maybe more challenging, and what's the overall outcome?
I would say that what I touched on in the earlier question you had, the challenging part is that acceleration of skill set that you need to support a product portfolio you've never provided before.
True. Yeah.
Right. And hence why it's important to invest in your people, invest in the partnerships, and have a really clear path to get there. The logical movement up the value chain was there right from the beginning, because people started to see, people meaning the employee base, our customers, everyone understood that you can layer on these products and services, right? So from a connectivity and bandwidth service, secure SD-WAN is a natural progression to layer on. SIP trunking is a natural progression and then layering on top of that cloud-based services, managed services. So we created, I believe, a fairly clear path that we needed to take. We have to communicate that with our customers. And our customers have just embraced it, because again, they themselves have come back and said, listen, we've been with you guys for, knock on wood, from the beginning, most of them, a very long time. And that is a testament to the team and what they've been able to accomplish. The customers would then look at us and say, we love the trust, the responsiveness, and all of those characteristics that we have in our partnership, but I need more services, and I need these services. Can you provide them? And so it made perfect sense for us to, lockstep, keep the communication with our customers going while we're building and launching these products and services.
So speaking of customers and the overall market, I found it interesting that the target marketplace for you is between mid to large enterprise customers, but you can go as low as maybe 50 users and up to maybe like 500 or so. Do you feel that market is currently underserved, and if so, why?
Yeah, Paolo, we were chatting before this outside on how long I've been in this industry.
Yes.
And I love every minute of it. I would say, just generically speaking, it's always been underserved, that mid-market.
Yeah.
I think our services, our size, our responsiveness and agility is perfectly suited for that mid-market. That's not to say that we will not continue to serve some of the larger customers that we have. We have to do both. And the products and services that we have and the way we organize the company have to cater to both. But it's absolutely underserved. And I think when you look at those products that I mentioned, the services that I mentioned earlier, in terms of, I don't know if I mentioned unified communications as a service, secure, managed IT and managed security, and all those things. They're so perfect for that.
That's right.
What that mid-market is always looking for is reliable, repeatable, well-priced, and I don't ever want to worry about it type of products and solutions.
That's right.
Some of the bigger players have not concentrated to the same degree in that space. And even just in the dialogue that we've had with that mid-market, they're looking for choice. More and more alternative choice to the big three.
So what are your customers saying? As previously as Hydro One Telecom, you supported not just Hydro One Networks, your sister company, but also a lot of public sector companies, especially important ones like in healthcare, for example. Inevitably, you have a great reputation of retaining a lot of those customers. But I'm sure, clients feel about this transition, and were there any concerns on their part as you move forward with this?
Oh, they've been wonderful.
Yeah.
Both our sister company, who continues to purchase and solicit services from us, as well as some of these entities that you mentioned.
Yeah.
They've been just absolutely fantastic. One of the main reasons is, hey, we want more.
Yeah.
We have a good, strong relationship and trust in what you do. Tell us more about these services and products and offerings that you have in the marketplace. So the element of any relationship, of course, is trust is a key element of that, and having that ability to have open dialogue and explaining what your challenges are. Not many do that openly, right? They have allowed us to have that dialogue, and so when we look and cater to these products and services, we do it with the voice of those customers. Some of the existing customers, of course, a large part of our organization supports them because we just love to support them. We want to continue to delight them. They're very, very important to us, and they continue to be part of our growth strategy. They absolutely continue to be part of our growth strategy because other companies look at it and say, well, if these entities continue to buy and are well served by you, we're very interested in what you're doing over there. In the public sector, in the MUSH sector, you know, municipalities, universities, school boards, and health. Those are very tangential to what we're trying to offer.
I know customers should always be part of any business growth,
Absolutely.
for sure. But let me take it to security. In terms of security, was that an area that I'm sure lots of companies feel that they have to go to market with it? But did it need any convincing from your end, because you are a telecommunications player now, you want to be an ICT player, and now you want to provide this as a service? How did you go about that?
Yeah, zero convincing. Absolutely no convincing. It is one of the top topics at every company's leadership team, board, shareholders, and rightfully so.
Absolutely.
It is a critical part of what we do. Just read the news. Just read the news and how important it is. And we quickly knew we needed to ensure that that's part of our portfolio. Hence the partnerships with, leading security type companies, and also the protocols and governance that go along with it. We have invested, we've launched services, as you know. We will continue to launch more capabilities that way because our customers want it, but also because we know that it's becoming table stakes in the conversation.
Absolutely.
It's becoming table stakes, right? So in the conversation that businesses are having, and again, we're purely B2B, it's always coming up, right? Thank you, understood. Now what about this aspect of it?
Exactly. So you made it this far with Acronym Solutions. What's next?
More.
I'm
I'm never satisfied that we've done enough. The team's been phenomenal. My leadership team will tell you I'm that person that keeps asking for more customers, more geographic spread to have more customers, more happy, delighted customers. And so part of what we talked about and the questions that you had, it's not just focusing on one market, it's focusing on different segments of the market, different verticals within the market. We continue to invest in other markets. You may have heard we invested more in Ottawa, in York region, in KW, in a bunch of different places. And those investments are not all just pure assets. It's also investing in people and being able to provide the services and the support in those areas. So more.
So John, those are all the questions I had, but do you want to add anything that you felt I didn't cover any of my questions?
I think first of all, thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure.
Any chance I get to talk about, you can see how energized I am about Acronym, I will take it. I'm very proud of the team. We continue to make noise and increase our customer base, and that's what shareholders want, but certainly that's what we want to see as a as an employee base.
So where can people follow you on social media, and where can people follow Acronym online?
So Acronym, you can hit all sorts of social media platforms, including LinkedIn. So Acronym Solutions Inc. will have its own page. They can certainly follow me. It's Papadakis for those that, John Papadakis for those that
We'll make sure to put that in the description below.
There we go. And you know, again, kudos to our product and marketing team, because they've done such a phenomenal job over the years that I've been there, where we were so much under the radar before. Now, with new website and all sorts of social media tools and all sorts of, more importantly, information on our website, go to it, go look at it, see what we offer. Send us a note on all the different platforms that we have available. We would be happy to have dialogue with you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your time and your great insight. There you have it from John Papadakis, the President and CEO of Acronym Solutions. I'm Paolo Del Nibletto for the Jolera interview series. Thanks for tuning in, and so long till next time.